Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd show you how to cover up an active pimple. It's that time of the month for me and they always come around my chin. And lo and behold, I have a friend right here. And in my previous concealer video, I showed you the products that I usually use when I have an active breakout, since I don't use like regular concealers or foundations to cover it up. So when this little guy came to visit right here, I thought, why not just take this opportunity to show you guys how I actually use this type of product to cover up active breakouts. So if you want to know how to cover up your pimples in like a smooth, easy, actually helpful way, then just keep on watching. The product that I use for this, like I mentioned in my concealer video, is actually a mineral-based powder concealer. And the one that I prefer using is the one from bareMinerals. It's called, Well Rested. It has SPF 20, and as you can see, it has like a yellow tint, which is perfect for covering up something that has like this red, purple undertone, like a pimple usually has. So what I do, I just unscrew the lid a little bit. It looks like this on the inside. It has like a little sifter that you just twist. I put some out in the lid, like that amount. I have two types of brushes that I use for this. In my concealer video, I mentioned that I use something like this, a teensy tiny natural haired eyeshadow brush for very small pinpointing concealer application. But then when something like this, it's not huge, but it is a little bit bigger. I use something like this. This is a synthetic, kind of like a paddle brush. You know the classic foundation brushes we used when we were younger? This is it, but just like in a smaller format. So what I do, I start with this just to cover like a bigger surface area, dip it in. I really like prime my brush with the product. I dip. Then your brush should look something like this. It has the product on the top. And then I go in. I'm just gonna use my little mirror so that I can see what I'm actually doing without covering you guys. I just pat it on. And the patting motion is gonna ensure that you don't swipe or move the product around. If you swipe, you're gonna end up having product all around the pimple rather than on the actual red area. So this is from the first application. I think it looks quite good. This is not super visible since it's like underneath my chin, but I still wanted to show you how to actually cover an active red breakout. And I just prime my brush a little bit more, tap it off. I go in again. I pat on, and also a little bit around, just to make it into a seamless blend. As you can see, it's pretty well covered. And now that I can actually see that the rest of my chin is a little bit red, I'm also gonna go in, because this is the closest area to the pimple. I want this to have the all same shade. And as you can see, looks great. And also, as I mentioned in my concealer video, I like to set this since the skin on a pimple is usually pretty stretched. The product can have a little bit of trouble to like actually hold on to it. And I usually set it with a mineral-based setting powder. And for this, I use also the bareMinerals Mineral Veil. This is a translucent mineral powder. It doesn't have any color. I just unscrew it like that. Use a brush like this, like I mentioned in my previous video. It's a Real Techniques setting brush. This is the old version, but the new one looks exactly the same. I just dip it into my product, and I saturate the brush quite a bit. just so that I don't have to dip in too many times. And then I just shake it off on the side. Go back with my little mirror. I start on my chin because I want that product mostly on like I said, bigger surface areas. I dip back in a little bit and then I go directly on and around the pimple. And as you can see, I haven't fully covered it because I don't really care. This is the little routine that I do to aid it in the healing process, like I mentioned. I want something mineral-based, skincare-based, and natural to actually not disturb my pimple and make it even more irritated. I use this product because I know it's gonna help it calm down, flatten out, and have like a good coverage without it actually, like I said, keeps on irritating or making it even more red. So this is a great way for pinpointing concealer application without actually having to use regular concealer. And I'm not saying that regular concealer is bad, it's just that when I have an active breakout, I want to help it in the healing process rather than enable it to get even more red or irritated. So that's why I really recommend, you don't really have to use bareMinerals per se, but I've used this for years and I really trust it. It's really, really nice for sensitive skin. It's good for all skin types, and they have everything from foundations, concealers, liquid form, powder form. But I love this concealer in the powder form because it sits really nicely on the skin. You can use it on breakouts to actually cover them without like making them look crazy, and help them in the healing process. So this is just a little tip from me to you, how to cover a period breakout that pretty much all of us gets, who gets periods, once a month, and they can be really annoying. And just a disclaimer, this is not a routine if you have acne. If you have larger portions of acne on your skin, this is not the routine for you. Then I would use something mineral based, but more so in a powder foundation formula. This concealer trick is more so for, like I said, pinpointing concealer on smaller areas. Yeah, so this is not a trick for someone who wants to cover like a large area on their chin, cheek, or like around their nose. This is more so for spot concealing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something valuable and that you will try this next time you have a little friend visiting. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!